Good morning, welcome to Mucker's Movies. Today we're visiting an ancient church. It's called St Leonard's. Rondy Stokes is the name of the village. It's a lovely day today, as you can see. Sun shining. Nice to hear the birds singing again and seeing the blue sky. Right, let's make our way down this road to the front of the church. The church is a Grade 1 listed building of significant local historical and artistic interest, dating back to the 13th century when the village was known as Stoke Gifford. Rondy Stokes is a small village nestling at the foot of the Mendip Hills, between Wales and Cheddar. It was listed in the Domesday Book of 1086 as Storgers, meaning stockaded settlement. 1291 it was called Stock Gifford, after the Gifford family who were the lords of the manor. The last of the Giffords family, Maud, married Sir Edward Rodney in the latter part of the 13th century, after which the village became Stoke Rodney or Rondy Stoke, as we know it today. The church was built in 1175. We have a bench here for Silver Jubilee, 1952, 1977. Right, let's go in and take a look around. The rood screen is inscribed 1625 and it spans the chancel arch, and it's rare and excellent example of a Jacobean wood carving. I think we started this end. The pulpit on the north side of the nave also dates from the Londorian period, but it was originally sited on the south side of the nave. The wall behind the pulpit is hollow and probably conceals the original staircase to the rood loft. some really nice old looking shields. The altar or communion table is inscribed 1634. It provides the focal point of the sanctuary to the east of the communion rails. It is typical of a church furnishings in the Jacobean period and is handsomely carved with buboes legs. Old looking tiles. Up here we have Sacred Memory, the Reverend Daniel Tremlett, M.A., during 23 years a faithful minister of this parish. He departed this life in 1846, aged 48. I'll be taking photographs later on, so you'll be able to see them again at the end of the video. We have here, to the honour and the glory of God, and the reverend memory of the Reverend G.H.U. Fagan of Wales, many years rector of this parish, and able secretary to something societies. This chapel was erected by the public subscription August the 4th, 1879. Give you something to read. I'd like to thank everybody for the lovely feedback I've been getting lately, saying how much you enjoy looking at these churches. It makes me feel like it's really worthwhile doing this. So I'd like to thank you again. Morning. This is Anna Lake, 1600 to 1630. She was a wife of George Rodney, Sir Edward's brother. This was her second marriage. Her previous husband having been William Cecil, the 17th Lord. Her effigy is exceptional. It is made of Somerset alabaster and is thought to be the work of a Dutch mason. The figure shows the details of pleated dress with its intricate lace collar and jewellery. What it actually says on this stone. High platform soled shoes with small heels. The effigy is under an arch canopy. Here lies the body of Rosine Ty, wife of Sir Edward Rodney, knight who deceased the third day, I think that's supposed to be August 1659. This one, here lie the body of Sir Edward Rodney, late of Rondy Stokes, in the county of Somerset, knight who deceased the 25th day of May 1657. And here lies Mrs. Catherine Rodney, who died the 4th of Feb 1704, aged 73. Here is deposited the mortal part of George Rodney, Esquire, the fifth and last son of Sir Edward Rodney Knight, the 25th heir male of his family. He was born 21st of July 1629 and died last of November 1651. He was defended, I think that is, by his father of the noble family of Y. Seymours and by his mother of the noble family of Y. Howards. He was I can't read the rest of that, maybe you can. His tomb is very unusual, as he is sitting up in his coffin wearing a shroud and with his hands in the air. Its tomb includes various shields and an engine riding on a cloud whilst blowing a trumpet. What a fantastic little room. Again, I can't read. What's on here? I hope the video's not too dark. My torch is not working today. So like a young man. Morning. This is Sir Thomas Rodney, 1437 to 1471. Thomas Rodney was the son of Sir Walter Rodney. His mother was Margaret, daughter of Walter, Lord Hungerford of Farley. Like he goes dog. He was MP for Wiltshire and Somerset and Speaker of the Commons. Thomas only survived by his father for 4 years, leaving several estates in Somerset, including Rondy Stokes, the Rodney Chapel, and was added to the church to house his tomb. Its effigy is an outstanding example of 15th century craftsmanship. Looks like a dragon of some kind. A face there. Like some kind of dragon again. Sir Thomas Rodney, 1437 to 1471. Thomas Rodney was the son of Sir Walter Rodney. His mother was Margaret, daughter of Walter, Lord Hungerford of Farley, MP for Wiltshire and Somerset and Speaker of the Commons. Thomas only survived his father by 4 years, leaving several estates in Somerset, including Rondy Stokes, the Rodney Chapel, was added to the church house. His tomb, with its effigy, is an outstanding example of the 15th century craftsmanship. The recumbent figure of the knight is very detailed and gives an excellent picture of the armour worn by knights. His feet rest on a beautifully carved dog. At one time, Sir Rodney's helmet and sword of Sir Rodney hung above the tomb, but the sword was stolen in the 1960s and never recovered. The helmet suffered a similar fate in the 1980s, but was later recovered. Treasures under lock and key include the funeral helmet of Thomas Rodney, which was once stolen but recovered. When the thief took it to an antique dealer to be valued, he recognised it as something special and took it to the V&A, where it was identified and returned. Thomas's sword had been stolen earlier but never recovered. The church also has a priceless Elizabethan silver chalice. Here we have to the proud and grateful memory of the men of this parish who fell in World War 1939-1945. We have a David Cooper, John Glover Price, Dennis H.W. Fire, James Williams. They all died that we might live. Very nice old church door as well. With a massive lock on it. A big key. The font is probably the oldest stonework in the church, perhaps from the 12th century. It originally stood by the north door, but is now under the tower. The font cover dates from about 1625. Looking stove. Says Whitechapel Bell Foundry carried out quarter turn-in, clapper restoration, reopening and securing the bell frame being founded by the ringer, the village community friends and grant aid. 1957, 3 of the ancient bells were repaired and rehung by the ringers of this church. The restored pearl being rung again on Easter Day. This. It says ancient grade slab, 12th, 13th century, grade listed 2. The ancient grave slab is the oldest monument associated with our church. For well over 100 years, following the late Victorian expansion of the church, it was propped up against the churchyard wall at the eastern end of the church, as shown in the photograph below. Prior to that, it had been covering a double grave under the floor of the chancel, and has been seen circled in drawings below. The sketch was drawn in 1844 by J. Buckler and is included in the book Sir Stephen Glenn's Church Notes for Somerset, published by Somerset Record Society. The grave slab was identified and dated by a Mr. and Mrs. Gittos in 2009, following which it was given Grade 2 status for its age and its rarity as a double gravestone. It's carved from Draycott marble, which does not weather well. The Gittos letter can be seen on our website. Given its age, it is possible that the slab covered the burial of 2 members of the Gifford family, who were lords of the manor of Stoke Gifford. As the villages were named in those days, it became Rondy Stokes when the last of the Giffords married Sir Edward Rodney. Right, let's have a look at the stone. On the left-hand side, it looks to me like a sword of some kind. On the right-hand side, I don't know what that could be. This stone dates back to the 12th or 13th century and have covered a double burial. There is no text on the stone, but it does show 2 crosses of different styles. Such double grave slabs are extremely rare, so it was moved into the church. Kind of marking there on the wall. Nice carvings on the end of the benches as well. Thanksgiving window 1920, restoration 2022, funded in the memory of Christopher Nave, Captain RNOBE. Here we have in the loving memory of Ernest Jonathan Pierce of HMS Glorious, sunk by the Germans, June the 9th, 1940, our first war loss. In loving memory of F.O. Louise Barber, died 1st of June 1924, given by friends in Rondy Stokes. Right, that's it from inside the church. Let's go outside and take a look around. Right, so I notice here we've got some old graffiti. Right, let's take a look around the outside the church. I think we go round this way, first of all. Some strange markings here as well. And over here, don't know what used to be there. Is it like a keystone they've put in there? Show got the stones above. Anyway, let's go around here. I suppose that would have been the manor there. Yeah, it even got a door going from the manor into the churchyard. Another stone, can't read it though. Usually looking air vents. What a beautiful day it is. See for miles. We've got Thomas Moon, died 1940, 14, age 70. All I can see is the date on this one, 1888. 1888, yeah. We've got John Bible. He died 1866, age 57. Jane, his wife, she died 1886, age 60. Also her son and daughters, John, who died 1865, age 5. And Mary, she died 1877, age 19. Then Ellen, she died 1879, age 24. She was buried in the Midlands. And then we got Anne. She died 1930, aged 74. The Grade 2 chest tomb dates back to the 15th century and may be associated with a member of the Rodney family. This big oak tree there. Joseph Mumford, died aged 76 in 1880. We have Jane Grimstow, she died aged 76. Isabel, she died aged 41. All I can see is a year at the bottom, 1896. Mary Mumford, she died 1934, aged, I think it's 49, I'm not sure. Herbert Seeley of Honeyhurst, parish warden for 27 years, called to rest, 1939, aged 66. Also Mary, his wife, she died 1951, aged 79. We've got Henry Mumford, died 1939, aged 80. Edward Bible, died 1813, aged 77. Also Martha, his wife, she died 1835, aged 34. Also of the above, Edward and Martha, who died 1804, aged 21 year, and two daughters, Luard and Bible. She died 1852, aged 3 years. We've got Edward Bible, died 1867, aged 77 years. George's son, he died 1895, aged 60 years. And Eliza, his wife, the wife of George Bible, she died 1921, aged 81 years. Harriet Hodgson, she died in 1942, aged 82 years. And also William, her husband, he died in 1950, aged 81 years. We have Bessie Camo, loved wife of Howard L. Died in 1934, aged 49. That's all the newer graves over there. No, I can't. Oh, William, son of the above. Can't see their surname now. He died 1882, aged 39. Another memory, Peter Swash of Pastures Green. Can't make out the date when he died. Look at the views from here, you just see for miles. We have a Stemmus Cooper, the beloved husband of Lucy Cooper. He died 1920, aged 75. Also of the above, Lucy Cooper, who died September 1924, aged 81. Also David Cooper, LAC RAF VR, grandson of the above, who gave his life in India. Died 1943, aged 21. Buried in the Minapur Cemetery, Austria. We have a Charles Tilley, died 1851. Born 1851, died 1906. And of his third wife, Laura Huck, born January 1866. She died 1942. And of her only son, Charles Edward Tilley, he died in 1981. Also his wife, Doris Emily Locke, she died in 1982. We have a Sylvester L of Rondy Stokes. He died November 1911, aged 62. Also Esther, his wife, she died 1924, aged 73. Also John James, who died 1874, aged 2 years old. Also Tom, who died 1882, aged 4 years. Also Percy, who died 1882, aged 5 years. Also Reginald, who went down in the Titanic, April the 15th, 1912, aged 30 years. He is a son of the above. Here's a piece of history. That's what I always think about the churchyards. There's so much history in these places. And people just walk past them, which is a real shame. James Edwards, born 1833, died 1901. Charles Tilley, Manor of the House, of Manor House, who died 12th of June 1905 in his 91st year. Also Anna, his wife, she fell asleep 21st of April 1916, aged 87. James Tilley, 1852 to 1914. Also his wife Mary Ann, 1857 to 1922. Oh, nearly miss these. Morning. And good morning. And you, sir, madam. We're then making our way back out of the churchyard. Just take a look over here a minute. Just a couple of fields. Right, now making my way back to the car. Hope you enjoyed this video today from St Leonard's, Rondy Stokes. What a fascinating little church. If you did enjoy it, please press the like button. And I'll see you all again next week. Bye for now.